Hi, I'm Philip Peterson, and at the age of 18 I went to a local sporting goods store, and after only about 20 minutes I was able to purchase a gun. This gun being a .22 caliber rifle with the ammunition needed. I was only asked basic background information as well as to sign a single sheet of paper, which seemed to be set up all too easy for a criminal to take advantage of. What I would like to do during this presentation is to get you to see things from my point of view when it comes to the current regulations in Iowa around gun control and regulations, the problems caused from such regulations, and the needed regulations around it purchasing guns to help end these issues. The current regulations around purchasing guns is short and simple. A couple forms must be filled out, which require only basic personal information and one to check several boxes. A background check is done on the buyer purchasing a gun, and a signature is also required. The problems there are and that arise from current regulations are very serious. The current regulations lack in the area of truly identifying the buyer. The Brady background check is used, but only checks for a criminal background of the buyer and not the existence of the buyer as explained by the GAO. This allows for criminals, even with limited resources, to have the ability to purchase guns by simply having a mere fake ID and filling out a few forms. At certain gun shows in the States, people are able to avoid the Brady background check altogether when purchasing a gun legally. A legislation has been introduced to hopefully close the loophole, which was introduced by U.S. Senate Frank Lautenberg. According to Marianne Edelman, an estimated amount of 29,000 deaths from guns occur in the U.S. every year. One cause of these deaths is the easy accessibility of guns. Since the year 1968, over 1 million American citizens have been killed in the United States streets, homes, and schools by guns. There are many regulations that could be added to the current list to cut back on such problems. A regulation requiring fingerprinting is a simple step that could be added. This would allow for the true identification of the buyer versus only a background check on the buyer. Requiring the buyer to be photographed would also have its benefits. And adding a regulation that requires a waiting period after a purchase would definitely deter and catch criminals who lawfully can't own guns by allowing more time for checks to be done to find out if the buyer is truly who the buyer says they are. The Second Amendment is there for a reason and is here to stay, but that doesn't mean that regulations mustn't be maintained and upheld. There are many flaws in the system of regulations over purchasing a gun, but there are many reactive approaches that could be adopted to ensure guns aren't sold straight to criminals as easily as they are today. I feel I should be able to enter a sporting goods store and leave in a timely manner with a gun, but a longer process and delay is what I truly want to see happen to the regulations to ensure a safer nation when it comes to the guns in the hand of criminals. Thank you for listening.